Hello, everybody. My normal 5 minutes after 7. Sure. 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 It's Friday. Maybe people are busy today. Well, they're starting to show up here. There's 10 of you guys. There's 15 of you guys. Hello, Oregon. Angel. O'Reilly. Jose. What? Sure. There's Oz. Hey, Dan. The Philippines. What time is it in the Philippines? Is it early morning? It's probably the next day. Hey, BB. April's so close to me, you guys can't see her. Let me see. Oh, you still can't see her. Boyle Heights. Yeah, Jeff, I don't know what lakes are open for float tubing. Hey, Brian. Hi, Henry. Hi, April. So it sounds like some of the boats are going to start doing charters. Here. Sounds like some of the boats are going to start doing charters when the first closure thing is closed. The stay-at-home order is over on the 15th. Some of the boats, Gale Force, the Triton, are doing reservations for the 16th, I guess. And it sounds like some of the other landings might be doing it too. So Kenneth says right now it's 10 a.m. tomorrow, Saturday, in the Philippines. That's cool. So he gets a morning show. You guys get an afternoon show. Philadelphia. I didn't even know they knew who I was in Philadelphia. Do I have a video info? Line poundage? I'm not sure what do you mean by that. Like, what pound line to use for what type of fishing? For ocean fishing, for local fishing, it's pretty basic these days. You take a low profile reel like this and a 300 size series, you're going to put 50-pound Spectra on it. A 400-pound series, you're going to put 65-pound Spectra on it. And then whatever fluorocarbon you need on top of it. So if this reel you're fishing 20-pound or 15-pound fluorocarbon, then that's what you put on top, even though your Spectra is 50-pound. And with the 400 series, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to put 65-pound Spectra on there, even though you're not going to fish anything close to 65-pound in strength, poundage, I guess as you would call it. And even if you're using 25 or 30-pound, you're still going to do that. So I don't know if that helps you. Hello, Bakersfield. Must be hot in Bakersfield. Big Bear. Hello. The Royal Polaris said that they're going to be running trips in June. Some day and a half trips for June and July. That'd be nice. I hope that happens. Yeah, the Gale Force and the Trident are both talking about running with 10 people only, at least for the first month or two, to see what happens. With nobody knows exactly what's going to happen as far as um, what the Coast Guard's going to say, what's going to happen with the LA County order, with the governor. Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen. So that's kind of, what everybody's waiting to see. So I can't imagine. I'm surprised the Royal Polaris was talking about doing day and a half and overnight trips. Um, I don't know if anyone's going to be running overnight trips until they get farther down. But I don't know. I don't know if they think because they're going to be fishing Mexican waters. I don't know what's going to happen. And hopefully no crew members get sick, because if a crew member gets sick, that means that they can't work for 2 weeks at least once they recover. So, Tyler, yeah, we're going to have the raffle today. I already have a bunch of tickets for it in my Qatari hat. So we have tickets in here for the raffle right now. Even April's waiting for the raffle. Let me get you guys the raffle ticket info. So there's a link there for the raffle. So Scott says he went fishing today outside of Dana Point and caught nothing. How could you catch nothing outside the kelp beds? When it's slow fishing, just downsize your line. Smaller hook, lighter line, smaller piece of bait. Use a strip of squid, a strip of sardines, whatever. Just downsize it. Do you know what loads allowed for a charter boat on the 15th? I don't know. I know the Gale Force and the Triton, they normally run 20, 25 people, and they're talking about just running 10 people for their Catalina trips. And they're basically 12-hour trips. I think they're 5 to 5 is their schedule. But I don't know exactly what's going on there. But I talked to Skipper today, and Jared says that he's planning on running a trip starting in the middle of May. That's what they're planning on doing, and it looks like they're going to run at 10 people. They're going to charge a little bit more, but again, they're only going to run 10 people. But they're not doing as bad as some other boats are talking of doubling, going 100% increase in the price and going from 40 people down to 10 people. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, if you guys want to get in the raffle, we're going to have it at around 8 o'clock. And there's the raffle deal there. Okay, what other questions we have here? What does Bo say? Oh, he just says hello. BB is what? I'm planning going to Ventura tomorrow and try fishing off the pier. I don't know. Is the pier open in Ventura? I don't know. I think I would make a phone call before you drive all the way up there. You could probably do some surf fishing up there, but I don't know if the pier's open. And if the pier's open, I don't know if they'd let you stay in one spot and fish off the pier. Most of the stuff, the beaches, they want you to be moving all the time. You okay? For weeks, she didn't want to be around us on the lights on, and I'm on camera here, but I guess she likes it now. Okay. Yeah, Tyler, that's what I said. I don't know if the pier is open. I don't know if one of you guys can look on their website right now and help out BB and let her know if post it here if the pier is open or not. But I don't know. Henry, how long does sculpin remain poisonous after they're caught? I think they stay poisonous like a rattlesnake stays poisonous forever. That's why we always cut all the fins off, give them a haircut before we put them in the gunny sacks. So once you fillet them and stuff, and you don't have the carcass, I mean, you don't have the bones on there, you don't have to worry about it. All the venom is in the bones or on every one of those sharp points on their fins and stuff. So that's the only thing you have to worry about them. But once you have them filleted, there's no venom. There's no nothing. There's no poison. It's just like a bad bee sting. I personally have only heard of one person that ever died from it. And that was a girl who went to go visit her boyfriend on a commercial boat and sat on a gunny sack full of sculpin and put her in shock and killed her. So, but I haven't heard of anybody like on a fishing boat or anything like that. One of my deckhands did end up in the hospital from a sculpin where a piece of the, I guess, whatever you would call it, the spine that the poison was in, broke off in his finger, just a little fraction piece of it. And it was full of venom, and it kept shooting venom in him the whole time. And that evening, he had to go to the hospital and have it cut out and take it out. So, which reel do you think are better all around? Yeah, I don't know the difference between the first reel. I know the accurate reels. I've used some of the accurates. I've never used an ADT accurate, so I don't know. I have some accurate 2-speeds, but they're the older ones. Hello, Antelope Valley. How old is April? How old are you, April? She's old. She's probably about 12 years old. So I've been in this house 18 years, something like that. Yeah, I think she's about 12 years old. She's getting up there. So JJ met me at Knott's Berry Farm. Are you the guy I took a picture with at Knott's Berry Farm that day? It was a couple of days when I was there. When you say a while back, was it last year or way farther back? Because I was there last year and took some pictures with people. That was kind of an interesting day. Kind of fun. What else? Regions asking, do I think I'll be able to go out next weekend? I think maybe after the 15th we'll be able to run. I mean, that's how it sounds like some of the landings are planning to run. I haven't heard about 22nd Street or Long Beach. I think I'll make some phone calls and see if they're planning. I heard Newport was planning to run in the middle of the month too. But one of the guys just posted that the Fisherman's Landing plans to run trips in June. So, but I think those are going to be harder to run, the overnight trips. But I think the 3/4 day trips might be able to run sooner. But we'll see. Jose wants to know if you had to pick one between a Daiwa or a Komoda, Lexa or a Komoda. They're both good. I don't have anything bad to say about either one. Um, this one's going to cost you a little bit more. Might have a little bit better parts. But I've caught fish on both. These might be a little bit smoother, the Daiwa. But I really don't. For the price difference, you might be better off with the Komoda. But if you get the Daiwa one, you might not need to replace it ever. They're both good reels. I don't know which one. No, 22nd Street isn't open right now. And I know Davies is closed. But the Gale Force is saying that they're going to go ahead and start running trips mid-May. So mid-May, right after the first restriction here for LA County is over May 15th. So everybody's thinking right after that it's gonna go ahead and open up and the boats are gonna run. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be like Riverside where they've extended it to June 22nd or something. So hopefully not. So we'll see. Hopefully everything opens up here. Everything opens up here after the 15th. So fishing opens up in Washington May 5th. I thought you guys said that was just freshwater fishing. So I don't know. Illinois here. April. April. Come here. Come on. You've been good. Come here. Come on. Here. Come on. Come get your bone. It's right here. You just have to come get it. Here's your bone. Your treat. I'm not being so afraid. Here. Come on. Something she's afraid of. I don't know what it is. Okay, Kevin. Yeah, they used to say to pour hot coffee on a sculpin sting, and it wasn't that the hot coffee would kill the poison or anything. It was just that the pain from the hot coffee would hurt more than the sting of the sculpin. Hmm. Yeah, I'm hoping by May 16th the boats will start to open up and we can start fishing. Okay, so what's Christian asking? So Christian got the $10 grab bag and liked it. The mystery bag, so now he's gonna order a $20 one. That's cool. Yeah, we put a lot of stuff in those bags, mystery bags. So I'm glad you guys liked them. Johnny, no, I've never fished the Delta. I've been up there, like going to Sacramento for conventions and stuff, but never fished the Delta. And I would love to go fish for sturgeon. I've caught stripers in the bay. I'm going out of Emeryville, but I haven't done it in the Delta. It's pretty cool when you go over there. Yeah, there's 60 of you guys here, so I should have 60 likes on that button up there. Thank you, Jose, for reminding me that. So please hit the like button, you guys. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. Yeah, so Washington, it's just freshwater fishing's open on May 5th. Have I ever been injured fishing? No. No, I haven't been. I've been knocked down. I was on a tuna trip 2 years ago, and it was right after I had my hip surgery. I don't know, like maybe 3 months, 4 months after, and I couldn't get out of the guy's way, and they knocked me down to the ground. He was fighting his fish, so I guess that's the closest, but I've never been hurt, luckily. But that's probably why I had to have my hip replaced, because all the pounding on the boat. So I don't know if that counts. I had a trip for June for Alaska, Vegas, but that got postponed now because um, the date that I was going to go on, some people that were going to go earlier had to take my date because the resort didn't have any more open dates left. So yeah, everybody's like, anybody that has a resort right now, anywhere in the world, is really worried about what's going on with their lodges and resorts. I mean, the East Cape looks like they're going to open up this month, but because so few flights are going in right now into Cabo, people are having trouble getting airline tickets. So nobody knows what's going to happen, and nobody knows when they fly back into the U.S. if they're going to have to quarantine for a week or whatever. So everybody is just kind of worried. It's the kind of world that we live in right now. Yeah, I'm going to take my boat out on Sunday. So it's a real bad red tide right now inside. Hopefully outside, like the 150 and the horseshoe kelp. Hopefully it'll be okay. So Callie says, enjoyed the segment of the tackle box in the Ultra show. Oh, yeah, Throwback Thursdays. I've been trying to put a bunch of the old shows up there for you guys. Let's just say I was watching an old video on the Clemente. He was a deckhand in the late 70s and 80s. Well, that episode that you saw was way later than that. It wasn't from the 70s or 80s. So. Oh, Kevin, I pulled a hamstring one time. Well, that's not really like an injury. I didn't go to the hospital or nothing. Um, there was just a report that came out. Kevin sent it to me. I had to read it again. Kevin, can you answer their question about fishing San Diego Bay? I think it said something about you can fish, but I don't know if the boat ramps are open. I don't know if you have to have a boat already in the water or in a kayak or something. Because one report I saw said no um, motored vessels, powered vessels from fishing on. But yeah, I don't remember what exactly. Kevin, you got that email with you, so why don't you read it and let the guys know what it says? Um, yeah, there are reports of bluefin being around. I saw a picture that one of the old skippers from the Eclipse, Mark, posted of his kid with a nice bluefin tuna. So I'm pretty sure that was right there out of San Diego. I don't know if they're Mexican waters or U.S. waters. So, hey, we have Canada's here. Yeah, Kristen, today's a raffle day. So here's the link for the raffle if you guys are interested. We'll probably do that around about 30 minutes or so. And I'd like to thank all you guys for supporting my app. A lot of you have been subscribing to it, so I really appreciate it. And I've been putting more and more content on there for you guys to enjoy. So hopefully you guys are doing that. You're watching it. So there's a lot of new shows there, and I'm going to post a few more new shows probably this weekend on the app. I don't think anybody's buying any raffle tickets today. So Shelter Island boat ramp is going to be open for limited hours. Kevin says it said in that email. Okay, yeah, so Shelter Island is open. Yeah, no shore fishing right now in San Diego, it sounds like. But I think you can fish from a kayak or float tube or something like that. I don't know if you can fish in a boat in the harbor. I don't know if you have to leave the harbor to go fishing. So, see what that is all about. Okay, so Matthew says that San Diego County is open for boating with the motor for motorboats. That's cool. So Kaz says he might be coming back from the Philippines next year. Let's see. So some boat ramps are open, Matthew says, in San Diego. That's cool. Well, maybe we're getting closer to being able to do charters. So somebody who rented a sleigh day boat went on caught tuna, or it must be the owner from sleigh day because they don't let you take those sleigh day boats out very far. From what I heard, that they don't let you go past Catalina, so it's probably the owner of it. Henry says he enjoyed watching our videos. Oh, he watched some of the 4K ones too. Cool. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, it's only $1.99, so thank you. Thanks for subscribing. Hopefully more of you guys can subscribe. Yeah, I have a couple of more ceviche recipes coming. I just filmed one last week here at my house. Haven't had a chance to edit it yet. I was down on my boat today and just making sure it was ready to go for Sunday. And I had another problem with the anchor winch, so that wasn't such a good thing. So we got that worked out. Do I know if there is a fine if you get caught with other people on your private boat in San Diego? I don't know if they get a fine or if they're going to just make you go in, but there probably will be a fine. April, are you okay? What are you crying about? April. It's making all kinds of noise in the other room. So, was that big Conchi was asking, what's the best way to tie two different lines together, like braid to fluorocarbon? There's a bunch of different knots. Um, I tie basically two knots. I do a double uni knot, which is this one, and I do an RP knot or John Collins knot, and both of those work pretty good. And you can use that for spectra to fluorocarbon or from mono to fluorocarbon. They both work good. What's the matter? Come here. She just wants more bones. I don't have any more bones. Okay, yeah, so the owners went out. I thought so. Is a 90 horsepower motor too weak for an 18-foot boat? If it's an aluminum boat, maybe not. And if it's a heavy fiberglass boat like a whaler, probably too light. You really need to just Google a boat that you have online and see what the suggested power rating for it is. It's some boats are really light, like aluminum boat, and then some other boats are really heavy. With all the glass and wood. So, Brian, where does April stay? If I'm only gone 2 nights, she stays here outside, and she has a private door to get into the garage, and she has a bed in the garage, and she has a couple bowls of water in the backyard. So she has plenty of food inside the garage too when I'm gone. So she has plenty. If I'm gone for over a week, then there's a kennel down the street that she goes to. And then either Monica or somebody from my office will go get her every 2 nights, every 2 days that she's there, bring her to my house, let her stay overnight or a day and a half, and then take her back to the kennel. That way she doesn't have to stay there for 2 weeks straight. Okay, so yeah, I haven't seen the TV show Battlefish. I don't even know what that is. I guess I should look at. I guess it's a fishing competition. So like Wicked Tuna. I don't know. So Matthew, you don't like Wicked Tuna? I don't know. I enjoy watching it. Deadliest Catch is the one that freaks me out. And they're in out there in 60 knot winds, 50 knot winds, 40-foot swells. I was watching one of the episodes the other day, and they had a 35-foot wave or 30-foot wave and go through the wheelhouse. And those boats are high. And the wave broke and went into the wheelhouse of the boat. That's pretty ugly. I couldn't imagine being in waves that big. Chris Wong, who is the best tuna fisherman you know? Well, you're pretty good. Who is the best tuna fisherman? Are you talking about best at finding tuna or like one of the passengers on my trips? Which either one I can't answer. I'm pretty good, but I wouldn't say I'm the best. But I have been on boats where, like me and maybe only one other person got limits and the other people didn't. Catching limits on a tuna trip isn't so much about being the best. It's more about making the least mistakes because there's so many ways to lose a fish. So you see that, Bill? Henry says that he's got a 17-foot Boston Whaler that has a 90-horse engine. Says it runs good. I have a little 17-footer that Kevin knows real well, and it's got a 50-horse, but I haven't run it yet with the 50-horse. I think it used to have a 40-horse on it before, but I put a 50-horse on it, so hopefully once I get the electrical redone on it, I can run it. Yeah, April seems like she's in good shape still. Let's see what other questions. So Battlefish is about a fleet of albacore boats that compete to catch the most albacore. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, a lot of commercial guys probably don't like sport boats. When fishing out in Catalina, what's a good time to come back? The earlier you can come back, the better. I mean, if you're over there at first light and you can come back at 1 o'clock, that's good. Or if you're over there at Catalina, you want to work your way toward the west. If you want to get your boat soaked and get soaked coming home from Catalina, come home from Avalon because that angle is really bad to get to Long Beach or San Pedro. But if you're coming home from the west end of the island, at least from the isthmus, then you have a much smoother ride. You have more of the water behind you. But if you headed home right into the swell, a lot of waves, and it can get ugly. Okay, guys, 15 more minutes for the raffle. Prizes. And we got 3 bucktails here for the raffle. And a hat. You guys said you wanted the hat signed, so I'm going to sign the hat. The hat is now signed. No, please don't put it on eBay and sell it. I used to have a guy that would have me sign VHS tapes for him all the time on our filming trips when we did like the open party trips. And I would sign a DVD for him every time. And I found out later, he finally told me after a couple of years that he would take those DVDs and sell them online and would make back the money, part of the money from the fishing trip. So hopefully you guys get to keep it. Okay. What's Matthew's question? Oh, you guys are talking about that TV show. Have I ever used jerk baits surf fishing? No. But I saw a picture this week of a guy with the legal white sea bass surf fishing, and he was using a Castmaster, a little spoon jig Castmaster 1 ounce. And it was a nice white sea bass. I think he said it was 35 inches, something like that, 33 inches. So it was a nice size white sea bass. And he caught it in the surf. And I think it was his first cast of the day. So. You okay? You just hanging out? You want to come over here? I don't think she knows what she wants. Am I building something on Catalina? No. I'll just be doing private charters at Catalina. I'll be doing probably a bunch of private charters this summer and this fall to Catalina on my boat. We did, I don't know, maybe 12 last year. I think this year we'll do more. So hopefully every week I'll be going to Catalina once or twice. That'd be good. And we get a lot of like tourists, people that watch my TV show from other parts of the country, and then they come out here, and it's kind of funny. It's like one day Universal, one day Disneyland, one day Fish with Dan. So I don't know how early Disneyland and those places are going to open. Nobody knows what's going to happen. You know, it's kind of hard to, like, I'm in panic mode right now because I don't know if my business is going to survive this, and you know, how we're going to get money for the Youth Foundation. So I'm kind of nervous about everything, but you know, it's totally out of my control. There's nothing I can do about it right now. So it's kind of scary, but you know, I'm in the same circumstances as everybody else. And I asked my bank about what's going on with the payroll protection deal with SBA. And they told me 90% of the people that applied from their branch didn't get funded. So, you okay? You can come over here if you want. Come on. I don't know if she wants to go outside or she's hoping I have another bone to give her. So, Matthew, you're asking which fish has the red bucktail? Well, if you got the 6 ounce, you're going to be fishing either sculpin, rockfish, or lingcod. If you had the 1 ounce HD model, all red, I would say you catch everything on it. You can catch calico bass, yellowtail. I caught tuna on it last year, quite a few tuna. So that would be good. But if you got a 6 ounce one, you're going to be right on the bottom with that. So Ricardo wants to know, he's getting a 24-footer ready for Monday to Tuesday to Catalina. Would I recommend any spots? I haven't been over there. I talked to the skipper of the Gale Force today, and I didn't ask him where he went. But I don't know. I don't know if he's going to go. I don't know if you would go, to the Isthmus, or if you had all day to spend, you might want to start on the East End. Just start all the way toward the East End by the airport, and just work your way all the way up to the West End, and then come home. But I'm not sure where exactly you can go. I mean, the yellows toward the end of the lobster season were from the Isthmus to the west end of the island, but I don't know where they are now. Haven't been there since October or so. No, Brad, I don't think I have one, but really on a sculpin, all you're going to do is cut all the spines. Any spine you see on a sculpin, you're going to cut it. And on the back of it, all that fin back in the back of the middle of the sculpin on the back, you're going to just cut that whole thing off. And then on the side fins under its head, you're going to cut those two off. And then below the tail, there's another hard spine. You're going to cut that off. And you just want to cut all that stuff off when you're handling a sculpin. And of course, make sure they're legal. So Joe says, hey, Dan, my wife and I went on a couple of your TV charters years back. When Larry was still around. How Larry and I met each other? Larry used to have a body shop in Montebello with a friend of his, Joe Nava. And they were roommates back then. And I had just graduated from high school. And I got a scholarship from the Optimist Club in Montebello. It wasn't a big scholarship. I think it was like $200 a year or something like that for junior college. It was just to help out with some books. And I went to LA Trade Tech for college. And so Joe Nava was a member of the Optimist Club. And so I met him. And I think Larry had gone with him to one of the meetings, the dinner meetings, when they handed out the awards. And I met Larry through Joe because they lived together. And Larry liked to fish a lot. And my parents had a little 16-foot, 15-foot little boat. Wasn't designed for fishing. It was a little boat. And Larry and I had destroyed it, taken the seats out of it and everything. And put a bait tank in it, which didn't make my parents happy. But so that's how I met Larry. And then after that, while I was in college, I started going on half-day boats and three-quarter-day boats. My parents never did that kind of stuff. I mean, my mom would get seasick on the piers, so we never did that. So that's how I met Larry, and then it just grew from there. And then Larry left. Him and Joe closed down their business. And then Larry went to go work for his dad's garage or gas station in East LA. And it was a big Japanese area right off Evergreen. Is it First and Evergreen, Kevin? I think First and Evergreen right there. There's a Japanese church there and temple. So they ended up selling the gas station to the church, to the temple, and they use it for their part of their parking lot now, I think. But yeah, that's how I met Larry. We always fished together many, many years. It was only a couple years when he kind of got out of fishing. I mean, he still fished, but he didn't fish as much. And that was when he was all into golf. First in Mott, yeah, okay. Yeah, not Evergreen, first in Mott. Yeah. But Larry was like, he got into something, he went in all the way. So he wasn't happy just buying golf clubs. Of course, he had to make his own golf clubs. So, he was wrapping rods some days and making golf clubs other days. And I think Kevin's right. I met Larry um, through Joe through the auto racing because Joe was into auto racing. And I think Larry worked with Joe on his auto racing team. And then Larry went to go help another friend of his with his auto racing team who had a Pico Auto Salvage in Pico Rivera, which is now, I think that area is now where that little shopping center and movie theater is off Paramount and Whittier Boulevard. But that used to be an auto salvage yard way back in the day in the 70s, 80s. Where was this white sea bass? And the guy was surf fishing. I don't know if he was up in Ventura or down in San Diego area, but he was surf fishing. It was on one of the surf fishing Facebook pages. You can probably find it there today. Just check out some of the surf fishing Facebook pages. Yeah, it's hard to get a business loan with that income right now. I don't know what income is going to be coming in. I need to get some new sponsors. So if you guys know anybody that would like to sponsor a fishing TV show, let me know because I could use more sponsors. I have Lucas Oil right now. I have Arctic Ice and Mexican Tourism Board, but I could use a couple more sponsors if you guys know anybody that'd be interested in advertising on a weekly TV fishing show. William's asking, do you like fish tacos? I love fish tacos. I made some fish tacos here the other day that we filmed. So I got to get that video done for you guys. Maybe, I don't know if I can get it done this weekend, but during the week, I'll have some free time and we'll get that video done for you guys. Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, I hope it all works out. It was just scary. Burnt through a lot of my savings with the operations and not being able to work for a while. So hopefully something pops up. Christian, what's the best section to fish on the breakwater for lobster? I don't catch that many lobsters off the breakwater. I get a lot more lobsters off the oil islands. I would concentrate more on the oil islands than I would on the breakwater for lobsters. For fish, it's pretty simple. You just drive your boat on the outside of the breakwater as close as you're comfortable to it. I mean, not right on the rocks, but the breakwater, if the breakwater's here and this is the outside of it, the breakwater doesn't go straight down like this. It comes out a ways from there, and the rocks are out there. The rocks are, go up gradually, and then they kind of come down on the back end. So what you want to do is get close there when isn't a big swell. Drive along there with your fish finder on, and then where you see lots of fish stacked up, bring your boat back around, anchor up. And you don't want to be right on top of it, right on the breakwater, but you want to be, close to where you can cast to it. And it's pretty easy to catch a fish. So Matthew says that he attended LA Trade Tech for commercial art in 1989. Cool. I went there for photography. I got a degree from LA Trade Tech in fine arts. So, yeah, I was a commercial photographer for 10 years before I closed that down and went into television. And for the last 33 years, I've been doing television. Where's a good spot for lobsters for non-boaters? Yeah, the piers is probably the only other spot. I hear lots of people catching lobsters from Santa Monica Pier. The problem is a lot of people go to Santa Monica Pier to catch lobsters, so the crowds can get a little unruly, I hear, and they get there early. So so maybe yeah, a bunch of piers. People catch lobsters on piers. That's where I would go if I didn't have a boat. And on a pier, I think you can only use 2 hoop nets per person. Carlos, see you Monday. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna just let you guys know. I'm gonna invite Jared from the Gale Force probably next Wednesday. I'm gonna invite him next Wednesday to join us. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call him while we're here, and I'll get him on the phone and put him on speaker, and see if I can get him to be on YouTube too, so he can see your questions, or I can read out the questions to him, and he can answer the questions for you guys. So Christian's asking, do you always get live, I guess, bait, or do you mostly use frozen squid? I always get live bait, live sardines, live anchovies, and I always bring frozen squid too on all my private charters. If they have live squid, um, sometimes we'll go ahead and we'll get the live squid, depending on the length of the trip, what kind of trip it is. But I always get live sardines, live anchovies to go with the frozen squid. So Riley says his uncle might want to sponsor. Well, if your uncle wants to sponsor my TV show, just let me know, or have him, give me a call at the office, or email me. I'll put my email address here in case you want to give it to him. If you guys have any questions, you can email me here too. So there's my email address right there. It's just Dan at in front of my website. Jose, I buy my license yearly. And the only reason I do that instead of a lifetime is I am very superstitious. So I was always afraid that if I bought a lifetime fishing license, that my life might end like 6 months later. So I just buy a yearly one every year. So I should have bought a lifetime one when I was in my 20s, but now that I could, so now I just do a yearly one. So Joseph, San Diego is taking reservations. Yeah, a lot of places are taking reservations. Newport's taking reservations. Just nobody knows exactly when they're going to get permission to run. And nobody knows if it's going to be the governor's office that's going to allow it, if it's going to come down to the counties, if it's going to come down to the cities, if it's going to come down to Coast Guard. Nobody really knows. Hey guys, please like this video. Hit the thumbs up. There's like 70 of you in here right now, and there's only like 35 or 38 likes on there. So please, please, please all hit that. And then I know I talked to East Cape today at Palma de Cortez, and looks like they're going to open up in a week or so, maybe sooner, the 8th. I think it's, yeah, the 8th or 12th, something like that. They said they're going to open up. The hotel's going to open up, and they're really hurting to open up. Not so much just them, but all their skippers, the hotel staff, all that. They haven't done any trips since like November. It was like their last fishing trips. So all the skippers and all the crews all want to get back to work. You know, normally by now they'd been working since April, but they're not. So they're all looking to get out there. Yeah, Christian, I always get live bait. Always. And sometimes we don't even fish with bait. We might just use jigs, but I like having the live bait there so I can chum and get the fish up and get the fish to the boat. Tyler, what do you think when somebody... Yeah, I get a lot of that too, Tyler. The ones I like are the ones that like to compare fishing photos, because I usually win those. You know, they caught a calico that weighed 4 pounds and they thought it was a monster. So I show them a picture of my 10-pounder or a 10-pound sand bass or 200-pound halibut. So I'm not like a good person to do a fishing picture challenge with. But I should find some of my bigger pictures. I have a bunch of those. So Salty's asking, are people who don't own a sport fishing boat able to rent one? I don't know what's going on with sleigh days. I don't know. I think they can run boats for people to run on their own. Sleigh days has some aluminum boats, and you got to make sure that they're okay. One of my friends almost sunk one because it was falling apart on them, but supposedly they got it all fixed up. So I think their boats are okay now. But yeah, you can sleigh days. They offer boats that you can run to Catalina or fish closer. And then I don't know if you guys know, but you're going to need a license to drive a boat. So if you think you're going to rent a boat, you should just take the California test online now, so you can get your card, your boating card, and do that. But there are some other clubs out there where you can rent boats from. Do I think it's a good investment on reels? I kind of believe in, like, you get what you pay for. So if you get a really cheap reel and you hook a fish of a lifetime, you may not be able to land the fish. But, you know, do you need a $500 reel to fish for yellowtail? No. Do you need a $600 reel to catch calico bass, rockfish? No. I mean, I was on a boat this year, and one of my friends who I've fished with for 35 years now, and he had an old Penn 4.0 with Spectra and monofilament on, and he caught 2 tuna over 100 pounds on them. And that's all we used to use back in the day. Like, I have reels with 2-speed, but it's very, very rare I ever press the button on the 2-speed. It has to be the right situation, has to be a fish over 100 pounds, basically, and it's got to be right below you for you to use the button to cork tail them up, cork spin them up, and to bring them up. And the fish is up on the surface. You never, ever, ever press the low speed and use a 2-speed function. And if you do that when the fish is on the surface, you're never going to get it in fast enough and it's going to spit the hook. And how do I know? Because I've done that. I lost a big wahoo one time down in Baja by pressing the low speed button, think it was going to make it easier, and all I did was give the fish slack and I lost the fish. So you really don't want to use that 2-speed unless you have the fish right below you and it's a bigger fish. Yeah, if you're 40, it might be worth it to get a lifetime license, because you're going to fish at least another 40 years. So that would be good. So Robert's asking, is horseshoe kelp a good spot near Long? Yeah, horseshoe kelp is great. That's where I will be on Sunday. I'll be fishing horseshoe kelp, and I'll probably be fishing the canyon there to go look for some rockfish. But I'm going to try some of the spots around the horseshoe for calicos and sheephead and stuff like that first before I go look for the rockfish. Christian, where's a good spot to buy frozen bait? Normally I don't buy it frozen. I'll go to like the Asian markets and try to get the fresh dead squid. It has more color to it. And they do sell boxes of frozen squid there too. But I normally try to get the fresh dead squid. Something that hasn't been frozen too much, but I guarantee you that fresh dead squid they have on ice was frozen at some point to get it to the store. So it's been frozen. If you're going to fish a halibut derby, I would probably say use live sardines and drift them. If you want to put a second rod in the water, use a bucktail and put a whole squid and slowly bounce it off the bottom. So if you're drifting and you got one rod and a rod holder on your boat, leave it there on the bottom. But take another rod with a bucktail, like a 2 or 4 ounce bucktail, cast it out, let it hit the bottom, and then just slowly lift it up and bounce it. Slowly lift it up and bounce it. If you have to, wind it up 2 or 3 cranks, then stop it and let it fall. And you'll catch halibut that way. I've caught quite a few halibut that way. What time of year does a white sea bass? They bite now. They'll bite now through July normally. Just depends when the squid are spawning. Yeah, same thing with yellowtail. The gale force captain got limits of yellowtail, just him and 3 friends on his friend's boat. But last weekend they had 20 yellowtail. And as far as surface jigs, this is what I like, the jig that we're putting in the raffle. I like magic metal lights. They got the rattles in them. They work great for yellowtail, calico bass, kick side to side. And if you need something deeper, like a Farnsworth or something, deeper water, then you want something like this, a magic metal jig, then profile, let it go down, and then work it back up. That works out really good. If you guys are interested in buying magic metal jigs or bucktails, I'll give you the code again. It's SAVE20, and I'm only sharing it here on the YouTube Live, so you guys can use that code and get 20% off magic metal jigs or bucktails. Okay, so one of the guys says that Restaurant Depot has 3 to 4 pounds of squid for like $4. That sounds pretty good. I don't think you need to have a license to buy there. I think they did a story about that place that they were opening it up for consumers to go in there and buy stuff because people were having trouble getting stuff at the stores. But I don't know for sure. Are there spotted bay bass in Catalina and San Clemente? Probably. Like really tight in. I've never caught one. Normally, when we catch spotted bay bass in Long Beach, we're inside a bay like Alamitos or something like that. But I have caught them inside Long Beach Harbor next to the oil islands. So, that's a good question, Tyler. I don't know if there are spotted bay bass at Catalina or San Clemente Island. But I would think so. No, Jose. Two-speed reel is not required for tuna fishing. If you're going for tuna fishing over 100 pounds, I would say yes. Go ahead and get a two-speed reel. But if you're going for schooling tuna at 20 to 50 pound fish, don't bother. I mean, I was catching them last year on the 400 size of this, but that's just for the schooling size fish. If you get fish over 100 pounds, do not use a level 1 reel. Use a regular larger reel. Okay. All right, it's time to do the raffle. So let me see. Okay, so Captain Awesome says he caught 3 spotted bay bass in 2 harbors, and that makes sense. In the back there, inside a small harbor, that makes sense. Okay. So let me see if anybody bought a ticket today. Looks like some of you guys bought tickets, so let me see who I need to put a ticket thing for in the hat. Anybody buy a ticket today? Well, there's a few of you guys. Okay. You guys are going to have to answer each other's questions for a second while I fill out this really quick. Okay, Brian. Bought a ticket. Okay. Who else bought a ticket? Oh, Anthony bought a couple tickets. Okay. Thank you, Anthony. Okay, Nobert. You bought a few tickets. Thank you. And there's another one here. Cindy. Cindy. Okay. Thank you, Cindy. I think that's everybody. So did I miss any other questions? Best boat that catch yellowtail out of Long Beach? You know, all the boats are good. There isn't, you know, I can't think of, if it was a choice between the City of Long Beach and the Enterprise, the only question would be, do you want a half-day trip or a three-quarter-day trip? The Enterprise, the Captain Andy's great, and I've caught some nice yellowtail on that boat, locally and at Catalina, and he knows fishing really well. All these skippers are really, really good. So, you know, you should try a bunch of boats just to find out, what do you call it? Just to find out how, you like the cruise. I mean, once you find the cruise and stuff, that's really gonna decide which boat you're gonna go back on over and over. That's how I was when I was in college. I started fishing on the Blackjack out of Redondo, and I just liked the captain the cruise so much that was the boat I was on all the time. Okay, so this is the last call for the raffle. If you want to get in the raffle, I'm going to put this link here, and this is the 2-minute warning. I'm only putting it up because a couple of you asked right now, how do you get in the raffle? So it's $5 a ticket. You don't have to be in the raffle to join these things. I'm only doing the raffle because a bunch of you guys had asked me to do a raffle like 3 weeks ago. So I think this is the 3rd week we've been doing the raffle. And I'll pick the only other, and then we'll do the raffle. And then what do you call it? We'll have new prizes on Wednesday. Wait, today's Friday. We'll have new prizes on Monday. And you guys seem to like the lure giveaways better than a reel, so I'm going to do some more lure giveaways for Monday. And I'll see, maybe if you guys like these hats, I see if we can find some more hats. I want to do some more of those carry bags too. So last call if you guys want to get into the raffle, because I want to do the raffle, pick a winner, and then I'm going to go watch, what's the show on today? The gold prospecting one. Oh, no. Gold Rush. Go watch Gold Rush. I think he's still in Australia. Yeah, I think the skipper that was on the Native Son is the guy who bought the Tradition. And he's going to be running Tradition out of 22nd Street this year. So I'm looking forward to it. I'll be fishing with him. If you guys want to join me on any of our trips, just go to my website and sign up for our trips. And well, no, we probably have like 18 trips posted there. We just added another Gale Force trip today for July. So you can use that link there, and it's going to have all our trips posted that we have set up right now for the year. And, you know, just go there and sign up. I don't think these guys are old enough to remember that online radio show that Larry and I did, Kevin. So Captain Awesome, what was that deal? If fish are going to hit the iron, does it matter? I would still fish fluorocarbon. You don't want to tie a jig straight onto Spectra. So I would tie on a piece of fluorocarbon. Probably about half the length of the rod is all you need. And you can fish a little bit heavier. So if you would normally, when you're fishing for yellowtail, if you would normally use 30-pound tests with the live sardine, if you're going to throw a metal jig for yellowtail or like a magic metal light or a caddy, you can throw something like this for yellowtail. I wouldn't be afraid to add 40-pound test line on there. I would go a little bit heavier than if I was fishing with live bait. And again, if you guys want to use this code over the weekend, you can. Your tickets are good for 2 days. So any tickets that were bought on Wednesday are in this hat. And then tickets that were bought today are in this hat too. So they're good for 2 days. And here's our new winners here. Okay, last check to see if anybody bought a ticket. I think everybody is in here that wanted to buy a ticket. Yep, no new tickets. Okay. 8:30 sharp is it. 8:30 sharp. So let me answer a couple more questions. We have a couple of minutes to go. Well, if you guys want to know what my rates are for private charters, here's a link for that. So we have half day, 3/4 day trips, all that. On your TV trips, are you going to lower the people count? I don't know yet. It depends what happens here with the boats. I think the trip in May, that first trip on the Triton, might be limited to 10 people. And that means only 8 passengers, because that part of that 10 is going to be me and a cameraman. So it might only be 8 people. So we'll see what happens here. Yeah, I would use fluorocarbon, anything on the surface, even if it's a jig. I think Captain there, Captain Awesome. I think fluorocarbon is actually more shock absorbent, and a lot of guys use it for bluefin just for that because it's stronger for fighting the fish, especially for tuna fishing. Well, the reason you use monofilament or fluorocarbon is because you want it to stretch a little bit. You don't want to have, like, even for the bigger tuna, you want to have some mono in there so that that monofilament will bend a little bit. So. Yeah, if you're trying to buy a raffle ticket, you have to include your mailing address. All right. There's a couple of orders here. Looks like Marco's bought a couple. Marcos. Well, Clint, some of the boats say they're going to start running on the 16th. So I don't know for sure if they're going to get out, but they are planning on running on the 16th of this month. So hopefully they get to run. And if that happens, I will be running my trips right after them. Okay, so that one's in there. And okay, Robert, I got your order too. Okay. I think that's everybody. And it's 8:30, so it's time to do this. Oh, shoot, one more person just signed up. All right. Yeah, he's not talking about dolphins like porpoise, you guys. He's talking about something totally different. So don't worry about that. Okay. Have I ever kissed a fish? Probably. I don't know. I found some old hats the other day at my office. Found one signed by Jimmy Houston, one by Roland Martin. I got to find this lure thing I have. Has all the big pros signed for me one year. God, it's like 30 years ago. Mark Solson, Jimmy, Roland, bunch of guys. I got to see where I hid that thing. Hopefully, I still have it. All right, guys, let's do the raffle. Here are the tickets. All right, here we go. If you guys haven't heard why I have a Qatar hat for holding the raffle tickets, it's to thank the people of Qatar for making their $5 million donation to the city of Los Angeles. Okay, here we go. And the winner is Cindy. Cindy Lennart. Congratulations, Cindy. So I don't know if this is Cindy, isn't it? Or Cindy bought this for her child. But here is the winner. So Cindy, you are going to get the signed hat. Here's your ticket. You're going to get Magic Metal Jig, Magic Metal Light, MM5, another MM5, and 3 bucktails. And this will go to you on Thursday when I'm back in the office. So congratulations. So if you bought a ticket today, it will be in the drawing for, it'll stay in here until Monday's drawing. If you bought a ticket on Wednesday, then your ticket will come out of here. But anybody that bought a ticket today, you're still in the drawing for Monday. Alrighty? So congratulations. All right, a couple more questions before I run. Yeah, Ventura, Oxnard, Santa Barbara, those are all great landings to run out of. Sea landing out of Santa Barbara is really good for fishing the Channel Islands there, and the angle that they run from makes it really nice to get to San Miguel. I mean, they're so close to those islands up there, San Miguel and Santa Rosa, that when I was on the Stardust last fall, we did a 3/4 day trip. And even though it took 3 hours, we were still able to go fish between Santa Rosa and San Miguel. And in an hour, we had limits of rockfish. And they were big rockfish, big chuckleheads and some lingcod. And that was out of sea landing. So it was pretty good. Yes, I would recommend that. Yeah, no, Cindy did good. That was a $5 ticket. And I think she only bought one ticket. So for $5, she gets all that stuff. I mean, just the 2 bucktails, the 2 small bucktails was $5. So she got the hat, 2 magic metal lights, and a magic metal jig too on top of that. So that was really good. For $5, she did really, really good. Okay. No, Kristen, you can buy a ticket anytime you want. I'm just saying that when you buy your ticket, when you buy a raffle ticket, it's not just for the day. It's good for 2 days. So if you bought a ticket today, you'll be in the drawing for Monday. But you can buy another ticket on Monday if you want. It doesn't matter. So it works out good. So you can do it that way, or you can just get, however you guys want to do it. This raffle thing wasn't my idea. It was just you guys asking me to do raffle prizes, so we did it. So it seems like you guys like it, so we'll do that out. I'm glad you guys like my little shout out to Qatar. I think it's impressive. I mean, I haven't heard of other countries stepping forward and giving us $5 million to Southern California for to help the people out. I'm not going to get any of that money because I don't live in the city of LA. That went to the mayor's fund, and I think he said it's going to help 45,000 or 50,000 people get money. I mean, 50,000 people, that's Dodger Stadium. Every person in Dodger Stadium is going to get a card for anywhere from $500 to $1,500, depending on their situation. So, that 50,000 people is all because of the people from Qatar. And I'm sure it's the emir, but it was nice. When I was in Qatar and I was there filming, all the people I met were really nice to me. So I really appreciate that they did that. So it's really good. So Native Magic wants to know, what knots do I tie for surface jigs? I probably use the not a Palomar knot, not a perfection loop knot. You need like a San Diego jam knot. You need a knot, improved clinch knot would work out, or a San Diego jam knot. You need something like that so that you can tie, onto the ring and then slide the knot down onto it. So that's a magic minnow jig there. You guys should have some of these in your arsenal. Okay, so if you haven't liked this video, please do it now. And again, congratulations to Cindy. And if any of you have extra money that you just would like to donate to my youth foundation, we're still trying to make up for the $2,000 of stuff we had stolen last month. So there's a link to our Dan's Kids website. And here's a link to my Patreon if any of you want to help me out there. And I guess I might as well put my app here too. I really appreciate you guys supporting my app. And quite a few have, I think 25 or 30 people have already signed up since this thing has started. We've been trapped indoors, so we get another 20 or 30 of you guys that do it. That'd be great. And it's on $1.99. $1.99 every week. I mean, a month, once a month. That'd be good. What was that question, Tony? That's gonna air pretty soon. I don't have the exact air dates in front of me, but I'm pretty sure it's in May here. It might be this coming weekend or next weekend, but it's gonna air here soon. I'm pretty sure it's already at the TV stations. So keep checking. It might be on tomorrow morning. Don't forget to watch us tomorrow morning here in LA. We have gift certificates available on our website. So you can get there and buy a go to the website and get whatever. You can do $1 gift card if you want, or $5 gift card, whatever you want. Or if you want to buy a spot for a fishing trip, you can do that with a gift card. A lot of people do that for their spouses. They'll go ahead and get a gift card for that. So you can do that. It looks like the gift cards, I think, start at $5. I don't know if you can do $1 one, but since some of you asked about the gift card, here's a link to our gift card from that website. Well, here's the exact one. That one's for that page. Here's the one for the gift card. Okay. All right, Christian, good night. Thanks for joining us. Congratulations again, Cindy. What does Brian say? Only one. Yeah, please tell your friends about my YouTube channel. I really want to get to 50,000 subscribers, and I'm a long ways from there. I'm only at like 17,000. So please, please share my YouTube channel with your friends and tell people, and let everybody know that we're doing this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday while we're all locked indoors. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. Maybe we could do something like that. We have a level of Patreon that includes a private charter, but that is, kind of expensive. But we could talk about doing something like that. All right, guys, it's going to be 2 hours here, so I'm sure April wants to go outside. So thank you. Please subscribe, and I'll see you all here on Monday, and hopefully I'll be out on the water on Sunday. So I'll give you a little fish report on how we did and what I saw, and hopefully we get some fish. All right, have a good weekend. Stay safe, and talk to you guys later. Good night, everybody.